Alright, hey guys, welcome to our third episode of the Lah Project. You're with me, Han Rayani, and
BJ.
Today we have a special guest. He is a stand-up comedian, but he'll be sitting down today. His name is Sheikh Irfan Mansoor. Welcome to the show.
Hello, terima kasih.
Alright, so we're gonna start with our normal monologues, I guess. So, okay, we'll start with something light. North Korea. Okay,
That's light?
Yeah, this is a rumor actually.
There's a lightest one.
There's a rumor basically going on that Kim Jong-un allegedly executed 30 officials for their failure to prevent summer floods and landslides that claimed the lives of 4,000 citizens in North Korea. Yeah.
30.
He executed 30 officials because of a flood and landslides that claimed the lives of 4,000 citizens in North Korea.
Yeah, apparently I've heard like not about this specifically, but I've heard that Kim Jong-un, he has been like on a campaign sort of where or on a project where he wants to restore the population in North Korea, because now the one thing about North Korea, at least that people sort of know, is that the country is going through starvation, famine, and they have been going through that, I think, for the last 15-20 years now. And because of that, the numbers of their population have plummeted. And because it has plummeted, apparently there's a risk of North Korea as a country being completely wiped out due to this lack of population. Because now there's only like the people who are basically survival of the fittest. So the fittest of the fittest, and whoever lives in the capital, Pyongyang, that's the only place in the country supposedly that has any kind of food or sustenance. It's crazy, dude.
I have a conspiracy theory. Is it likely that Kim Jong-un executed 4,030 people to help with the population control and the,
I don't know. I
Why?
think
Wait,
because,
I'm so curious.
because like there's a food shortage problem, right?
Yep,
So
for sure.
There's more food to go around if there's less mouth to feed.
People,
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
so
very
is this
true.
a conspiracy theory lah?
So which one is the bigger problem? Population
Well,
or
I mean, it's
food?
either way.
It's linked.
Either way, I feel like it's not sustainable. If he's doing that, like his way out of it is to trade with other countries, which he refuses to do.
But that's why they're good with like black market stuff. They're really good with black market stuff because they don't trade with anyone. And their economy is reliant on
the black market.
On the black market.
Right.
Opium, weapons, the general black market kind of stuff. So it makes sense why you would want to up the population. But like the mass floods, when did that happen?
Baru, right, recently, within the last week.
How many people died in the thing?
4,000 plus.
4,000 people died.
4,000 people.
Yeah, 4,000 people.
Damn.
But in like what is this, a rural area of North Korea?
Yeah, rural area. So there were pictures of Kim Jong-un in the paddy fields and in like basically streets where the water is like down to his knees, to his ankles. So
I can't take Kim Jong-un seriously though.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Not with the haircut, right?
Not with the haircut. No, not with anything, man. He doesn't look scary. That's the craziest part. Is that like, even when he's trying to look angry, he looks like a baby who hasn't gotten food.
Just
I feel that. Manju, like
he looks like a moody child.
He looks like a moody child. I feel bad for him because I'm like, Allah, it would have been, his dad didn't hug him.
No.
Like his mom never like said, hey, I'm proud of you for doing the homework. No, he never got any of that. So he's taking it out on the North Korean citizens. So kasihan him. Kasihan Kim Jong-un. That's what I'm saying. We should really have more sympathy for the North Korean dictator.
We should.
We should. Okay.
30 people died.
30 people executed. Because of
He executed. How did he execute them? Shut them.
Bro, that's the thing.
Firing squad.
Firing squad.
Damn.
They have... okay, interesting.
Okay,
I feel like they could just wait and then the 30 people will just die of
eventually,
starvation, right? Eventually.
Yeah. Alright, I think we can move on to our
Yeah, I
next
think we should.
subject because before, like, we were speaking about execution. Maybe if we continue talking about this,
dude,
they
he
will.
killed that dude in the airport, right? In
Yeah,
KLIA.
in KLIA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
his half
Apparently,
brother.
Yeah.
apparently that almost started like an international
Yeah.
dispute or something.
I bet. Yeah.
Oh, that's wild. But like Malaysian Secret Service is very good. Thank you, our brothers in Special Forces.
Yes, thank you so much.
UTK.
Thank you.
Alright, let's get our hands off on this topic. And speaking of hands off, the Paralympics has started.
Wow. Han?
Yeah,
Nice.
sorry.
Very good.
Malaysia finally got its first gold medal courtesy of Chia Lik Hao. So congratulations to him for finally getting the first goal for Paralympics for Malaysia.
Ever?
No, for this
Oh, okay.
Paralympics.
Oh, okay. So we've gotten gold in the Paralympics before.
Yes, we
That's
have.
cool.
But
Right.
for now, in Paralympics, we've got 1 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze.
In the current
Paralympics,
okay,
so which
cool.
is pretty good.
We've never gotten a gold in the Olympics, in the real Olympics, though.
No, we have not.
Are we a nation of disabled people?
Yo, that's the question.
That's the
You're
question.
asking the real questions,
Yeah,
man.
Okay. Listen, we all watched the Olympics
Yeah.
and we were all impressed.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, I think Paralympics is better because have you ever tried playing football with your eyes closed? Can you imagine? Or you imagine you're trying to do a long jump, but you can't see where you're jumping.
But I don't think the blind people are.
No, they have to like close their eyes and stuff. Yeah.
No, but
Or like you have to wear. If you're not blind, you have to wear that.
yes, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
I had
the
no
thing.
idea that you had to wear blindfolds if you're not blind.
You have to.
Yeah,
like,
because there are
This is
different
what?
kinds of
For what
blindness.
sport?
for football, for long jumps, for 100 meters.
If you're
Any-
competing with other blind people, you have to, because there's different degrees of blindness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
For
you
sure.
have to, or everyone gets a blindfold.
Yes, because there are some athletes that have maybe 20% vision.
Yeah.
So some have 0% vision. So you have to make it equal lah.
Oh,
So
wow.
you would see like runners.
How do you play, dude?
You would see runners like basically in a 100-meter line or 50-meter line trying to do a long jump, right? So they would stray off the path. Stray off the
That's
path.
not real, dude.
That's real,
Wait,
man.
serious?
Serious, but
Okay.
luckily
Because you're
they
blind, dude. Of
would
course,
have coaches.
You must have, dude.
They would have coaches like on the sideline. They were, oh, you're leaning to the right. Oh no, wait, you're leaning to the left. So
Or like shouting to them
shouting to
while
them
they're running.
while they're running.
Oh, okay.
So it helps them a bit lah. But
But I think that helps them a lot.
Yeah.
that helps them a lot.
I think
Actually,
that helps them a lot. Yeah.
because I've seen some terrible accidents.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's hard being a Paralympic athlete. Actually,
It's hard being disabled.
it's hard being disabled.
yeah, being disabled.
There's
Dude, I
this-
saw that basketball thing. Like, okay, me and Han, we play basketball like quite a bit together. You know, so like
Not professionally. lah.
not professionally, of course, but we have our pickup games.
Yeah.
And holy shit, dude, how do you play basketball in a wheelchair? How
Oh,
do you
yeah,
do that,
man.
though?
Yeah, dude.
How do you do that? Like,
Yeah.
that is crazy, dude.
And then how do you like?
Can you like stand up on
Dude,
the wheelchair?
like, how do you shoot sitting down?
Eh?
You can't shoot sitting
Yeah,
down.
you can't
dude.
shoot
You
sitting
can
down.
get
It's
any
tough,
kind of
And
Just
Yeah.
arm length lah.
And
yeah.
and how do you break ankles when everyone's ankles have already been broken? Sorry, guys.
Speaking of this, right? Have you seen the official Paralympic TikTok account?
Oh yes. Oh
Have
my
you seen
god.
it?
No. I'm not on TikTok. Yeah.
Bro. So I saw this one where it was a triathlete and he was going from running to cycling and he was trying to look for the cycling kind and in the background there was a piano theme going on and he was trying to look for the bicycle. He was doing that and the piano thing came in as he was doing that. This is the
official
They
Paralympic-
themselves are doing it to them.
Yes.
Holy shit.
They are literally making fun of
They're
themselves.
literally making fun of themselves.
But sometimes you look at it and macam like you wonder.
But I mean, dude, that's a good thing, though.
That's a good
Yeah.
thing,
That's a
right?
good
I'm
thing,
like,
though.
but like you see, dude, this is not even, I'm not even saying the worst one. When you start looking, right,
Yeah.
it's bad, man.
Oh, yeah?
There's stuff there that you're like, have you seen it was kind of a trend on Instagram juga, where they would like, someone would throw something and then it would cut to like something being thrown into a glass, right? There was one
much
where
of
like a little person was doing the discus, and then the discus like land like a small chocolate chip on a thing, and I was like, guys, this is the official account.
Yeah.
Your shit
on the official account.
On the official account.
Holy
And then
Gila,
you see some little people throwing the javelins or
yeah.
something, right? And then they edit it out to someone like having a dinner or something, and then people just throwing toothpicks inside a beard.
This is the official account, man.
Okay, we're allowed to laugh at that.
And I'm so glad they're laughing because Kim Jong Un doesn't have a sense of humor.
No.
He doesn't have a sense of humor.
Not
about
like
this.
that, dude.
Yeah, when they make fun of themselves and they laugh and like it's okay, but we can't just.
Unless they give the go ahead. I feel like if you open the door,
I think with them posting on the Paralympics official account, it gives us the right to laugh.
I feel like if you want to be inclusive, you laugh at fucking everyone.
Yeah.
Like I mean, people laugh at me all the time. I don't care. Like, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, true.
It is what it
Betul.
is. Yeah.
Did you hear about the thing like? Kind of was a time, I think it was in the Olympics where the North Korea and South Korea took a selfie together.
Oh yeah.
On the podium. Yeah,
On the podium,
I saw
right?
that, yeah.
Apparently, they have to go through a ideological test when they go back to North Korea to see if they have been influenced by non-North Korean ideology.
Dude, that is no surprise at all, dude.
That's no surprise.
There's no
guys.
surprise.
I
Dude.
saw that photo and I was like, babe, you're fucked. Like, you're actually gone. Bro, you guys won't have legs when you go home.
We won't see you at the next
No, but-
Olympics.
Yeah, Paralympics.
But you know who does something similar to that? Our neighbours, Singapore.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, they do
But
it in Singapore, Malaysia lah. betul.
Not ideological. They have this thing where if you're a Singaporean citizen and you leave the country for like a short period of time, like say a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and you are coming back. When you come back, especially if they know that you are going to places like Bali, Amsterdam, all these places, when you arrive back in Singapore, in Changi, there's gonna be a policeman waiting to take your samples.
Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Is that legal?
I think in Singapore it is. I don't think it is here, but I think in Singapore it is.
If you have illegal substances in you,
yeah.
even though you didn't do it in the country,
and they are detected, yeah.
and they're detected,
Oh,
and it's
wow.
detected. They tried to do that when Thailand legalized
Yeah,
ganja juga.
yeah.
When because a
In
lot
Malaysia?
of
in
so a lot of
Malaysia.
Malaysians go
Yeah.
back and forth.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think they did it on the Kelantan or Kedah border.
Right.
And it was people checking lah.
Right.
But there's no legal backing.
Exactly.
In
Malaysia tak ada.
Malaysia
Yeah,
tak ada.
yeah.
Singapore might have,
Yeah.
which is I feel like that's a bit much.
But you know,
I don't know.
there's the price it takes to run a free country, dude.
Is Singapore a free country? Is Singapore a free country? Are we about to go into that question?
Well, okay, free might not be the right word. A clean country.
Is it a free country?
It's a lot cleaner
It's
than Malaysia.
physically clean.
It's on the surface. It's very
On the
clean.
surface,
Yes,
it's very
yes.
clean. Oh yeah, but that's just Asian. We're very good at like making the
surface level
surface
cleaning, you know?
aesthetic nice.
Yeah.
Oh bro, aesthetic always
Dude,
cantik.
Clorox became a $1 billion company off of us. Huh?
Exactly, dude.
Come on,
exactly.
man.
But
Ain't no joke
the
there.
core. That's what I'm asking. The core.
Yeah. Well, you know,
Singapore.
All right. So we have like some more news. This one. Okay, we'll start with the local news first.
Okay.
Okay. So this is not so local. The New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, if I'm announcing it correctly, actually visited Malaysia for the first time in 10 years. Said he wanted to promote New Zealand tourism and Malaysia and vice versa. So which government official did he come to see? Our Prime Minister Khairul Aming. So he visited Khairul Aming to promote New Zealand tourism to Malaysia and vice versa. So what do you guys think of that? Instead of meeting like an actual government official?
I think he probably did that in the back end of it, no? I mean, he showed up to Khairul Aming's thing too with
so,
like an official government car, right? So
yeah.
Okay, genuine question. Khairul Amin is...
Good question too.
Okay.
I know he's an influencer.
I know he's an influencer.
Okay,
I've heard the name.
Okay, for anyone that doesn't know,
I know sometimes he cooks, sometimes he talks about
right? Is he
Palestine.
the WhatsApp guys?
Yeah.
Okay, he's a
But
WhatsApp
he's also
guy.
been talking about Palestine a lot.
Yeah.
He has.
Yeah. But he hasn't been cooking the
every
Palestinian
influencer
food.
has been doing that.
You know?
He hasn't been cooking
He
well.
hasn't been cooking the Palestinian food. He's been talking about Palestine a lot, but he hasn't been cooking the Palestinian food.
Yo,
Okay,
influencer.
Like, If you are a chef,
Yeah, we
cook the food.
cook the food.
Cook the food.
Walk the walk.
Yeah.
Walk the walk.
Walk the walk. Like
Khairul
usually,
Amin, not
walk
doing enough for
the walk.
Palestine.
Yeah.
That's
If you-
what
if
we're
you-
saying
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
If you're watching this, Khairul Amin,
We don't want him to be our foreign dignitary, you know. We don't want him to be like, shaking hands with prime ministers and presidents. Like,
I like how we're holding him to a higher standard.
like he's the epitome of a Malaysian, like
That's
the highest
true.
standard of
I'll
Malaysian.
tell you something about Khairul Amin that maybe most people doesn't know.
Okay.
He's actually a very good philanthropist.
Yes, I know
He donates a lot to some really good causes, and he actually provides a lot of benefits to his employees actually. Like all his employees get bonuses, they would get free meals, they
that's
would
good.
get free groceries and stuff like that. And he opened his factories in Kelantan to help boost the local economy.
Oh, the
over
daging
there.
dinding.
Yes, he made the
They made
daging
the daging
dinding
dinding
and
thing,
sambal
yeah.
dinding, I think.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no problem. Stick to that.
Yeah.
But like that, okay, so here's my thing about that. Is that like, yes, correct, you're a philanthropist and you're helping a lot. Betul. But what I don't get is that if we're talking about New Zealand, Malaysian tourism, unless this man has spent time in New Zealand or has direct conversations with the tourism board
Or
and
been
what's
involved
happened-
with foreign policy.
or in being involved with foreign policy,
Unlikely.
why are you here? Apart from being a nice face when we have to take pictures and post on Instagram. And that's great. That's great. I understand we have to feed the algorithm. Faham. But like, also, bro, you're not in government. Why is there no... Is there someone else? Was there someone else there who was
I mean, okay, considering that the Prime Minister visited here, you would expect him to see our Prime Minister, right?
Yep.
But guess where he was? Guess where our Prime Minister
Where?
was?
Go on then.
He was busy dealing with... basically, he was at an event where he made two big announcements,
Okay.
actually. So the first one, he mentioned that he was diagnosed with being a Manchester United fan. So yeah, it's terminal. So
Okay.
yeah.
In 2024,
In
those still
2024.
exist?
yeah, we still exist. We still exist.
I'm
Oh, you're a
sorry.
MU fan?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, man. I don't like football.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, so that was the first announcement lah.
Okay.
His second announcement that he mentioned that he was gonna donate, or not donate, he was gonna allocate 15 million ringgit to FAM.
For what purpose?
Yeah.
For what purpose?
For what purpose? For basically the development of football in Malaysia.
15 mil.
15 mil.
Wow.
15
Is
mil.
that okay? You guys are more football heads than I am. Is 15 million, if we're talking not just specific clubs, but as a sport in this country, is that a lot? Or is that, because that doesn't sound like a lot to me. If I'm being honest,
Alright.
that doesn't sound like a lot.
Speaking as a football coach, for anyone that doesn't know, I am a football coach. 15 million is a lot.
Okay.
If you use the resources well. If you use the resources at the right places in order to develop young players, fix some of the... There have been some underlying issues in Malaysian football. If we can fix that, I think those 15 million ringgit will be quite beneficial. However, people are also complaining lah. Like basically, why 15 million so much to the Malaysian Football Association? Why not to Badminton Association of Malaysia or any other sports? So yeah, what do you guys think about that?
I don't know. I think that 15 million is going to get lost in the ether.
Yeah,
As it always said.
that's my thing. Is that like I've heard those numbers being said so often, but it gets lost.
Yeah.
And then we end up in situations where it's like, oh, we need to fund more money and stuff. And it's like, well, I don't know if money is the problem that we have. And also, okay, so here's my thing about sports, is that as much as I love sports as like an athletic thing, and I think it brings us together and everything, I also can't deny that the way we are treating sports is as if we want to hit certain rankings within the global sphere. So in like the Olympics, if you get more medals, you get more prestige.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's the best thing, that's the best strategy as a country. If like the only reason we are funding sports to this degree is because we want to be seen as successful on an international level instead of from a actual standpoint of like taking care of our athletes, taking care of our,
I think,
you know?
personally, if you ask me, at 15 mil, there is no idea here nor there. Like, you're not taking care of the athletes, but you're not doing nothing. You know, so it seems like it's more of a show of we're not doing nothing, you know. But
it's a talk lah.
if you really want to challenge for like, you know, top 15, top 50, top 20 countries in the world, especially in football, there's a lot of things that needs to change though. And it's not money that is going to solve those problems.
Yeah, I feel like attitude of our general thing, no?
Well, attitude maybe, but I feel like, because I've played in like the amateur scene a lot, Han has played in the amateur scene a lot, I've seen a lot of players that would be like national level players, you know, but they don't get the opportunity, they don't know the right people, you know, and unfortunately in today's world, whether you're in Malaysia or not, knowing the right person is a very valuable commodity, you know. So it's unfortunate that's the case, but it's the case, it's reality.
Yeah. Also, what the fuck is in New Zealand? Actually,
Hobbiton.
It's a beautiful country.
We're talking about real
if you
stuff.
want to know,
Like, I mean, like,
you want to know something interesting about New Zealand? They have the most bunkers, underground bunkers. You know what it is?
Oh, really?
That's crazy. No.
Like
I didn't know.
They have the most doomsday underground bunkers. Like all the major billionaires of the world, because Australia and New Zealand is notorious for having probably the most stringent immigration laws. So it's not just like anyone can get in.
Yeah.
And it's even less of those that get in that can actually buy homes and buy properties and things like that.
Okay.
So do you know of this? He's part of the PayPal mafia, Peter Thiel. Have you heard of him?
Oh, Peter Thiel. Yeah.
He is one of Elon Musk's mentors and best friends.
Okay.
So he was one of the co-founders of PayPal.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Nice.
And basically what he did was he bought like a massive mansion. He bought a massive plot of land that he built a mansion, and he built like a massive underground bunker that you can supposedly live 25 years like in there without ever coming out. Like he has everything. Yeah, it's like multi-level and and he's not the only one. Apparently there are quite a numerous amount of billionaires in the world, like old money billionaires, like the Bill Gates level billionaires. Because New Zealand is just outside of the Pacific, something called the Pacific Rim of Fire, where
I watched that movie. I know this. I got you.
The volcanoes and shit. Yeah. So they would be, well, tell that to Christchurch, but the idea is that they would be away from whatever happens in World War III, and that's where you go when shit hits the fan. So
that's scary, man.
Dude, there's something cool about New Zealand, dude. And these areas are so hard to get to, where these billionaires have built these places. Like you need like literally like an outdoor elevator to get to the house. You know, from
fortress level,
wherever the road level is. Like it's nuts.
Well, why do you think it's New Zealand? Why do you think they picked New Zealand? Because if it's for like accessibility purposes, like let's say this plot of land in New Zealand is hard to reach or whatever, Kelantan is hard to reach.
Well, I'm not a nuclear engineer, but when nuclear war hits,
you're on the outskirts.
Yeah, they're probably on the outskirts of it, unless someone has some beef with Australia, which is wholly unlikely.
Alright, so our next news is... Sorry guys, we're not pros.
No, I got one. The Telegram CEO was recently released from custody in Paris, because last week's episode we covered how he was arrested in Paris, the CEO of the app Telegram. Yeah.
So they had people were...
Why was he arrested?
Okay, so there's been multiple conflicting reports. So basically, some were saying that he allowed child pornography videos and all this terrible stuff happening inside Telegram groups. But there's also another group saying that he's actually being arrested because he helps some of the groups share some pro-Palestinian content and stuff like that. So his arrest has been used to politicize a lot of things in France.
The truth, well, amongst, because I also listen to a lot of intelligence podcasts, like CIA, like former CIA people, and from what I hear from those podcasts is because he is always reluctant to talk about reluctant to how do you say, acquiesce to the authorities whenever they have a criminal investigation.
Yeah.
So like they want chats and shit from Telegram, right? They don't give.
Yeah, they don't give.
So unlike WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is I feel sketchy every time I text something on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And
it's like
it's not even
they have to tell you that it's third party encryption. Like, every time you send a message, they try to tell you.
And
like,
that's the part that scares me. It's like, I care about you.
Yeah.
Do you? You have to say this a lot.
Do you really?
Yeah. But Telegram, man. See, Telegram. I love Telegram because every time I get a notification that one of my contacts just got a Telegram, I'm like, hey,
welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club, bro.
But it's the Wild Wild West, like
it's the Wild West.
But the thing about it is that especially the French authorities, their whole deal about it was like there's a lot of child porn and things like that.
Yeah,
which is
that's not
an
wrong.
issue.
That's not wrong.
Which is an issue. But you can't hold the person who found it or who's running the company like. Unless he himself is explicitly involved, you can't hold him responsible for that. You know,
correct?
Like you just can't.
Correct.
That's like in a country, let's say someone did something like murder or something, and then they blame the prime minister or something like that. Yeah. So which is
unless the prime minister was involved, like maybe.
Although on that note, you know how you remember before Trump was shot? There were a few high profile school shootings. In the States. One of them is in this place called Uvalde in Texas.
Okay.
So they shot up and this dude I think transsexual. Male to female. Female to male transsexual.
Okay.
Shot up a school, an elementary school, and she was shot dead like on scene while she was still because it was like one of those things where to show that this is how appropriate police response should be to a situation like this.
I see.
So what they did as well was that the courts are trying to convict the parents of this trans person.
Why?
Because
apparently the parents it's somehow trying to say that the parents should have been aware of this kind of behavior and should have at least taken steps to prevent it rather than ignore it. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
but you could. Surely you can say that about a lot of kids. Like when you start getting and stuff like that, there has to be warning signs.
Right,
this doesn't come out of nowhere. You suddenly start shooting up a school.
You can't like the idea is that because they are underage. I think the shooter was like 16, 17, something like that. So the idea was that because the shooter is underage, somebody has to be culpable for it lah. And if you ask me, it's not wrong. Maybe the parents shouldn't get a life sentence. But
Oh, the parents got life sentence?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think, but I think they're trying for like 20, 25 years, something like that, which is in itself quite long.
If you want to watch a heavy movie, kind of a interesting, like same kind of topic, there's a movie called Mass, and it's about these two couples. They're both parents and one of them are parents of a mass shooter. The other one are parents of the mass shooter victim.
Oh wow.
And they meet in a church to discuss it.
Right.
It's very intense. Very intense. But it's like, keeps it. It's because it's talking heads, like it's 4 people. It's quite basic when you're like filmmaking. But like in terms of topics and in terms of how deep they get into it, it's very interesting to see like
interesting watch.
The psychological stuff. But also like as parents, you want to say like I did my best. But also,
is it your best?
Is it your best?
Yeah.
And like, no one, I think in cases like this, we try to look at it from a black and white perspective that like things are, this person is good, this person is bad. But like, unfortunately, we're all victims as much as we are all villains kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but like school shootings,
everyone's a hero in their own.
Everyone's a hero in their own story.
So let's say
she was a anti-Christian.
Okay.
Person,
I'm sorry.
Shut up.
Sorry.
She shut up a Christian in elementary school, a Catholic elementary school, I think. Yeah. Okay. And she was like against the religion because somehow like, religion, according to her, like puts aside the trans people and shit like that, So that was why.
So her parents are gonna be
I think they're trying. I don't know if they're going to be successful, but they're trying to convict the parents based on that.
Because they
Like
allowed
some sort of criminal negligence kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you could say the parents was in a trance.
Probably. You know what? Doing everything.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys.
I didn't see that coming though. I didn't see that coming though. I didn't see that coming.
Okay.
It was
It was good,
good.
it was
It's like
good.
classic wordplay. Like you feel it. Yeah, it was good.
Thanks. I mean, I'm just starting my
Well done. 75%.
Okay. All right. So, you know about the U.S. presidential election coming up. It's gonna be up in how many? 3 months.
November 5th.
November. Sorry.
US time.
In a few months. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So-
think we have like 2 full months left.
Yeah. So, one of the nominee for Democratic Party was. It seems to be Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Yes, and she's just given her first interview as presidential nominee. Did you watch that, Jay?
Yeah, I did. I watched 30 out of 40 minutes of it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I watched like halfway through,
Oh, yeah?
like
Yeah.
20 minutes out of the 40
Yeah.
minutes. But she was talking a lot about like her policies and stuff like that.
She was talking a lot about going back on her previous policies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was
And-
her previous policy?
Like, one of the things that people, especially people in the States, were very
Worried about?
up against when it came to her lah, her policies. One was two big things. One was her dislike of this thing called fracking, oil and gas fracking.
Yeah.
So she hated that. Like I don't know if she hated it, but
she was
she
anti
was
it lah.
one of the biggest politicians to be like, we gotta ban fracking.
Okay.
And another thing is when she said that one other thing is when she was Attorney General of the state of California, she imprisoned more than 1,500 people, and these people were mostly blacks.
Yeah.
On marijuana charges.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I remember this.
those people are still in jail today.
Yeah.
Which is nuts because California has legalized
Yeah.
the use of marijuana.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me lah, how that's possible. And I think the big thing about Kamala Harris as well, the third thing is her supposed values. Like she says that her values haven't changed, but her policy articulations have always changed, and I feel like people should be able to see,
Yeah.
past everything.
Yeah.
There's two things that I got from her speech basically. Two main points. I didn't watch the whole thing. Lah.
Okay.
But the first point was that she wanted to make America the greatest armed forces in the world. As if it wasn't already. As if they haven't...
Spent the most.
Yeah, as if they
anyone.
haven't...
Remember what I said in episode 1? Remember what I said?
You said
the
a lot.
warmongering?
Yeah.
That is real, dude.
Yeah.
Which is real.
That shit is real, dude.
I think they spend more than 20. So they are the most well-financed military in the world. And compared to the second one, I think they are about 25%, 200% more than the second.
That doesn't
most
surprise me at all.
Which is crazy. That's insane. And I think it doesn't help that there's also this idea of like, America is the greatest. So therefore we have reason to be like this. But like, was Kamala's pro-military lah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she came from a military background or something like that.
Okay.
Tim Walz did.
Oh, yeah.
The vice president.
Her running mate basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Actually, another point that she said was that she wanted to end the war in Palestine. I see your eyes rolling. Yes, that's what she said. I basically had that same reaction too, because if they really wanted to end the war, they can just stop the arms trade to Israel, and they could easily stop it.
Yeah.
So it's just like a lot of lip service, basically, from what I got.
Dude, it's always been battering though. Like,
Yeah.
that is the one issue where you cannot take anyone seriously. You cannot take the Islamic nation seriously. You cannot take the Jewish nation seriously. You cannot take the Americans seriously, because none of them none of them care about ending it.
And they do put their money where their mouth is. To be completely fair.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's really it.
Yeah.
So, but, okay, I understand, yes, free Palestine. But there are governments in the area, in the Middle East, like we're talking Jordan, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, Iran, people with money and real firepower who are doing nothing.
Yeah.
Taking no refugees
Neighbors.
in. Neighbors.
Fucking neighbors, dude.
Fucking neighbors
Yeah.
who are saying like, oh yeah, I love yeah.
But
Bro,
they-
and they do nothing.
No,
They still send military. They keep the nice face because they know, let's be honest here, they know even if Israel wins and they wipe it out, they know they have to be nice to them because they're now a country. And it's like we can act like we can say that like, oh yeah, people should be saved and people should be saved. We should take this seriously. But let's not act like this isn't anything else but a money thing.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be
For
like, oh, we
sure.
want to end the war in Palestine, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can physically do that. But
Just-
you're not going to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you think there's any candidates or any nominees from whatever party, Democrats, Republicans, or third party? Do you think there's anyone in the US, US politics that really actually want to end the war?
That want to end the war?
That want to end the war?
Donald Trump. Mega.
Interesting.
Don't-
Interesting.
don't make
Why?
jokes,
Go
man.
ahead.
It's not okay. The thing about Trump is not in his best interest for the war to keep going on.
Macam mana? Like how?
I disagree. Okay, but go on.
You disagree?
Okay.
Trump, okay, the one thing about Trump and what he's always ran on and what is true, sort of, is that he doesn't have institutional money.
Okay.
The big banks are not backing him.
Oh,
Big
yeah,
pharma
that's
is not backing
yeah,
him.
Yeah, that's very true.
Silicon Valley is not backing him, at least until recently. He doesn't have major backers. He does have major backers, but none of them are institutional.
Yeah.
The biggest, almost institutional backer he has is a casino magnate who recently bought the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Adelson family. So they own, I think it's the Wynn chain of casinos.
New money lah.
Yeah. So not really. They're old money.
Okay,
Like
okay.
when Vegas first started kind of money.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's his biggest backer, financial backer.
Okay.
I think they give him like upwards of 50 million
Sure.
a year.
Sure.
A month.
Sure.
So but other than that, he's not beholden to the pharmaceutical companies. He's not beholden to the big agriculture companies. He's not beholden to the big military industrial complex companies like Boeing, Lockheed and all that. Like those are the people, if you ask me, my 2 cents is that those are the people that tried to kill him. Because to them, it literally is an existential threat for him to be in power. Because when he gets into power this year, like this is one of our next topics. 2 really prominent Democrats have recently jumped ship and
Join
they
Trump.
haven't jumped ship recently, but they have recently endorsed Trump, like full on endorsed. I'm helping him prep for the debate. I might be on his cabinet, kind of on Trump's party now.
Yeah.
Democrats.
Tulsi Gabbard, which is, if you ask me, if the Americans really want a strong lady president, like a woman president, she is far and away the best choice. If you've never heard of her, you should actually go and research her. She's a native Hawaiian, so a woman of color, and she is a combat medic. She's a colonel.
Wow.
She's a colonel now. And she was once the vice chair of the DNC, of the Democratic National Committee.
So, But now she's working with Trump.
She's recently an independent because of what they did to first Bernie Sanders, and then of course what they did to get Joe Biden elected, which also they put aside Bernie as well in a way.
Okay. So
And also the more prominent one, of course, is Robert F. Kennedy, which is the
that one I
son
know about. Yes.
of former Attorney General Robert Kennedy, who was shot, and
the
nephew of JFK.
Yeah.
So So back to the question: Why does Trump to end the war in Palestine, Israel? Why does he have the motive to do that?
Okay, if you phrase it that way, my answer is no one's going to end the war.
Yeah.
The war will still be ongoing.
Okay.
But to get a ceasefire, he's the closest. To get a ceasefire that will last.
Okay.
That will last. Not a ceasefire that will last 2 weeks, but a ceasefire that will actually last. That will appease one party or another at least a little bit, but it will still make everyone unhappy, but everyone will live with that shit. And that is Trump. No one else is going to do that. You know what he did to Iran? That the fact that Iran did not in any capacity, Iran did not do anything during his presidency. He got rid of ISIS. Like during Obama's time, for 8 years, people were talking about ISIS like ISIS was the big boogeyman. Like we can do nothing to get ISIS. What he did? He went in to Syria, wiped them all out.
Do you remember the press conference he did when he announced that
Abu Bakr
he
al-Baghdadi,
died like a dog?
He died like a dog. You know? Yeah. So like that's the kind of guy that's going to be like, if you want to take anyone seriously, that's the guy you take seriously. You know what he said to Iran? He said to Iran like, okay, look, you're gonna listen to me. Sorry, not Iran, the Taliban. Why they didn't pull out of Afghanistan, right? Because he in the meetings, he was himself personally. This was not him sending representatives, not him sending his vice president like Joe Biden did. No, but he himself sat down with the head of Taliban at the time and said, look, this is a picture of your house. I have a video feed in real time. You do anything to my troops, this is what goes first, your house.
And there's footage of him saying this?
Not footage, but there's multiple other congressmen from both sides, Democrats and Republicans, who have
That testified for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. That he did say that.
Okay.
So you need a badass like that in those meetings.
Okay, this is where I disagree about how Trump would actually end the war. Because he's, first and foremost, he is a businessman. He has built this brand of him just doing business. How if he was president, he was president, how he would run it like a business. You know what's the biggest, at least for now, the most money-making business in terms of like profits and stuff? It's arms deals.
Yeah.
So knowing Trump, who is a businessman, he would benefit more. Also, America would probably benefit more if the war continues, because people would keep buying guns and keep supplying this Hamas. They keep supplying Israel, IDF. So this is the reason why I don't actually believe why Trump would how Trump would actually end the war, because it's not in his interest. He would actually run it like a business. Like he even bought like, I don't know how many billion he bought from Saudi.
Okay. I have a way to counter your argument.
Okay.
Have you guys ever heard of the movie War Dogs?
Yes.
I have heard, but I haven't seen
I
it.
think it's Jonah Hill, right?
Jonah Hill and Miles Teller.
Yes, I have watched that.
Yeah,
I have
of
watched
course you
that.
have. So War Dogs is based on a true story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And it was these two college kids who managed to become arms contractors to the US government.
Yeah.
War Dogs.
War Dogs, right? So that is what happens. You see the billions that you're talking about, that the US bought billions from, or Saudi bought billions worth of arms from the US. It's all major arms. It's like big arms that not people like them, like the War Dogs, could procure. You understand or not? So these War Dogs, they what they do, they operate on the black market. Eventually, they all have to do that, because there's only so much small arms, rifles, guns, pistols that a certain military want. At the end of the day, what the military doesn't have enough of is the missiles, is the jets, the helicopters, and those are all being built by the major corporations, the Lockheed Martins, Schlumberger's, all these other military, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, who makes the jets. So unfortunately, you have to cut that off, and you only cut that off by ending war. So the thing about Trump is he might not end it, but he's the guy that's going to keep it to the status quo. He's not going to escalate the situation, which he never has.
What do you think about that, Irfan? I actually don't. Let's agree to disagree, because I don't think that's what Trump would actually do.
That's what he did the first time around.
Well, we don't know if he'll win the second time.
We don't. But we're talking about if he did, kan? If he had the power.
Yeah, but
so I can only go off based of what he did the first time around. Like out of all the American, like we talked about in the first episode, out of all American presidents that have tried to have peace in the Middle East, there's only one that's been remotely successful.
At least close lah.
Close. There is criticism to what he did in the sense that Saudi, Jordan, Egypt, those are countries that are not at war with each other. So why would they sign a peace agreement? But it goes to show that
It's a
he's
step
trying.
forward, lah. It's a step forward.
Okay. I think we've got time maybe for one more topic.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So we all use Facebook, right? Or Meta now.
Palestine and Israel to Facebook. Very nice. Then.
Nice segue.
Yeah,
Right?
nice segue.
Mark Zuckerberg, he recently wrote a letter to the Senate committee, basically saying that how he was forced to censor a lot of his Facebook content back when Joe Biden was president, especially in issues relating to COVID. Am I right?
No. This was when Donald Trump was president.
Oh, sorry, when Donald Trump was
It
president.
was in the lead up to the 2020 presidential election.
Oh, so okay.
Right before Joe became president.
Okay, so what was the letter about?
The letter was about Mark Zuckerberg. He released this letter saying that, not released, he wrote a letter to a Senate committee that was the Senate committee was investigating improper. This is leftover from the January 6th. So they were investigating leftover issues from the 2020 election, which somehow is not resolved. So they found Mark Zuckerberg when Elon Musk bought Twitter, he came out with the Twitter files. He released this basically all the files that predated him buying Twitter, all the way back to 2018, 2016, something like that, of all of the correspondence between the US government and Twitter. And Twitter administration. And they showed that all the US government, especially the Democrats, were constantly asking them to censor, Twitter to censor certain Republican people, especially Donald Trump as well. So, because of that, there were a lot of speculation, especially amongst the public, that Facebook as well and Google, YouTube were also being given requests like this by the US government.
So Mark Zuckerberg
has recently admitted with this letter that this was the case. So he admitted that the Biden campaign was asking him to censor and I can't remember
limit the coverage.
The word, the word he used, but he basically downgraded the news article to something that was not you shouldn't read.
Can I say? I thought we knew this was happening.
But it's something for him to admit it. You know.
But I thought we knew this was happening because like the whole point of the Democrats is they're very soft power and Republicans are very like in your face.
No, I mean we all know about this. Like we talk about this, but for him to come out and come up with like an official letter to the
and he also said importantly in the last paragraph, I'm not. It is important for me as a purveyor of free speech to not only not be partial, but not even have the appearance of being impartial either side.
That's fair.
And because he did endorse Joe Biden in 2020, so he said this time around, I'm not endorsing anyone, and I cannot be seen to endorse anyone
because he knows. He knows all.
If you ask me, Trump has been having like a so-so campaign ever since Kamala Harris became nominee. Like especially if you look at the polls, she's leading a bit.
She's leading right now.
She's leading by 3-4 points, which is still within margin of error. So the deal is that I think that what's happening with him is that he is getting back the momentum a little bit with these little things happening. You know, but. You know, we'll see. It's 2 months to November. Somebody gets to get shot.
From me, though. Sorry. It's just no, man. I just
I mean, there's actually so much more that we could talk about, but unfortunately, time is running out. But before we leave, I would like to ask our guest Irfan if you have anything to say or if you have any upcoming project.
Any plugs for
your shows?
Upcoming shows, follow my collective at Cultlist, KVLTLIST, Cultlist. My Instagram is @irfanmanso. If I perform this improv show where everything is just kind of off the dome, no script, no nothing, for an hour. It's called Action Baby. We are performing at KL Comedy Club on the 20-something of September, the next show.
We will put it in the link.
Yeah. But thank you guys. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Thank you so much for coming, man. It's been a great pleasure talking to you about about news
Nice.
and social issues. So for our viewers listening in, we hope that you would, try not to take our words so literally.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're three dumb dudes.
we're three dumb dudes,
yeah, three dumb dudes.
we just want you to make your decision based on what you learn. We don't necessarily expect
Give
you
you the
to.
news with a bit of humor.
Yeah. We don't necessarily have to listen to us. You can make up your own.
I don't always believe in the things I say, anyways. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right. So hope you guys enjoyed our podcast, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Let's go.